Peace, 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 peace. All right. We got ourselves a class today, huh? Let me get myself situated real quick. We shall begin. Actually, I do need to get myself situated, but before I get to talking, we're gonna let. 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 Before I get to check, check, check. That was weird. Cool. Check, check, check. Am I all right? Am I sounding all right? I'm freezing on this side. Just want to make sure. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that. Peace, 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 peace. I am Rami Salamel. I thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Um, we have a powerful class today. We need to treat all women with more honor and respect. Before I get to speaking and saying what I want to say, first I'm going to let a woman start it off.
Yes! There's so much healing to be done in our places. And I don't know whose community we mean when we say our, but for me, our is the world. I don't have a, I don't do things on color. I don't do them on color. Boy, I tell you why I don't. I just told you, you got to stand for something. When I was in the Black Panther Party in Rwanda, it had not happened. Yes. It had not happened. So I was still believing, like most used to be Pan-Africanists, that, my God, the joy is for us to all unite as Africans. We can unite Africa, and we can do something great, because it's a great, massive continent, and we're great people, and we're good people, and mothers and kings and queens, and my God, look at what the kings did. Yeah. Are we going to look? If we don't look today, we're going to have to look again tomorrow. And where are the women? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Where are the women? Where are your stories? You all tell those stories. Find them stories and tell them. They don't have to be cute. If you don't do it, we will be erased. Already these young people don't know that we stood mighty. They already don't know that if it hadn't been for the women, there wouldn't have been no Black Panther Party. They already don't know that. They already think that men do. They already believe. You gotta put it into the line. And if you don't do that, we can't move forward in anything. So that's all I'm doing, is trying to share with you what I've learned.
Powerful, powerful. That was just a little snippet of the beautiful and amazing Afeni Shakur. Rest in paradise to her. All right, and before I even get started, I wanted to say thank you to my mother, my grandmother, my sister, my aunties, um, the mother of my children, my daughter, um, any woman that has played a role or had an impact on my life. I want to make sure that I get that out first and foremost. Thank you. Um, it's a lot that I want to say. So first I'm going to start it off with a little piece from Noble Drew Ali. And it's coming from a beautiful speech. It's called "The Moorish Leader's Historical Message to America." And there's one small sentence that really stuck out to me, and in my studying, it impacted me a lot, so much so that I said I need to teach this right now. Um, and in the speech, he's talking about a lot of things, but in his conclusion, he says, that we need to have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. And I knew that sentence was powerful, but I had been studying something else, and we're going to get to it in a moment. And upon me reading this other text, it just really nailed home just how much more appreciation and honor and respect that we need to give to all women, be it mothers, be it your wife, be it your auntie, be it just a woman, be it a widow, being a stranger that you don't know, some woman that you don't even know. We need to give all women more honor and more respect. And where I'm coming from on that is, I'm going to read this here. This is The Lost Years of Jesus, documentary evidence of Jesus' 17-year journey to the East. The author is Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Much love to Elizabeth. And I'm gonna read some of what Jesus was dropping, man. Some powerful stuff. And just a little backstory. What happened is, when Jesus was younger, he went out and started studying and traveling all over through the East, right? Getting a whole lot of wisdom and knowledge. Then he came back to his hometown. And when he came back to his hometown, the leaders, they wasn't feeling how much acclaim and just how much popularity Jesus, he was also known as Isa in the East, how much he was getting, you know what I mean? And so they was looking for a way to arrest him, throw him in prison. Even so much so that they assigned spies to go into the crowd and listen to his speeches and him teaching to try to figure out, all right, if he slip up and say anything, let us know so we can lock him up, get him off the street, because we don't like what he doing. You know what I mean? And so that's just the backdrop of the story to the part that I'm about to read now. It reads, and this is chapter 12, well, in this book, but it's page 215. It says, at this juncture, an old woman who had approached the group to better hear Jesus, was pushed aside by one of the spies, who placed himself before her. And then Isa held forth, it is not good that a son should set aside his mother, taking her place. Whoever respecteth not his mother, the most sacred being after his God, is unworthy of the name of son. Powerful. Isa said that a mother is the most sacred being after God. So we got God, and then after God, mother. The most sacred being. We got God at the top, with everybody, our creator, Allah, the Most High. But right after that, the most sacred being is mother, woman. I said, all right, let me keep reading. It says, listen then to what I say unto you. Respect woman, for she is the mother of the universe, and all the truth of divine creation lies in her. She is the basis of all that is good and beautiful, and she is also the germ of life and death. On her depends the whole existence of man, for she is his natural and moral support. She gives birth to you in the midst of suffering. By the sweat of her brow she rears you, and unto her death you cause her the greatest anxieties. Bless her and honor her, for she is your one friend, your one support on earth. Respect her, uphold her, In acting thus, you will win her love and her heart. You will find favor in the sight of God, and many sins shall be forgiven you. In the same way, love your wives and respect them, for they will be mothers tomorrow, and each later on the ancestress of a race. Be lenient towards women, towards woman. Her love ennobles man, softens his hardened heart, tames the brute in him, and makes of him a lamb. The wife and the mother are the inappreciable treasures given unto you by God. They are the fairest ornaments of existence, and of them shall be born all the inhabitants of the world. Wherefore I say unto you, after God, your best thoughts should belong to the women and the wives, woman being for you the temple wherein you will obtain the most easily perfect happiness. Imbue yourselves in this temple with moral strength. Here you will forget your sorrows and your failures, and you will recover the lost energy necessary to enable you to help your neighbor. Do not expose her to humiliation. In acting thus, you would humiliate yourselves and lose the sentiment of love, without which nothing exists here below. Protect your wife in order that she may protect you and all your family. All that you do for your wife, your mother, for a widow, or another woman in distress, you will have done unto your God. I'm going to read that last line again. My goodness. Protect your wife in order that she may protect you and all your family. All that you do for your wife, for your mother, for a widow, or another woman in distress, you will have done unto your God, unto Allah. And let me just go back again just to read this again. Whoever respecteth not his mother, the most sacred being after his God, is unworthy of the name of son. The most sacred being after God is a mother. And this is coming out of The Lost Years of Jesus, the documentary evidence of Jesus' 17-year journey of the East. Very powerful. And just getting away from this for a moment and just speaking honestly, especially to the men, we have to, it's on us, it's our duty, it's our obligation to treat women, to all women. Doesn't matter if it's your mother, if it's your wife, if it's a widow, or if it's just a woman in distress. Whoever that woman is, gotta treat them with respect and reverence and honor. They are the most sacred being after God. That's heavy, man. I didn't say that. And I didn't, please don't try to attack me. That's what Isa said. That's what Jesus said. Come on now. And if we're honest with ourselves, and if we look at and we reflect on our actions as men, we haven't been doing the best job of that. Some of us have been doing a good job, but as a collective, we haven't been protecting our mothers. We haven't been protecting our wives. We haven't been protecting widows or just women in distress. Because if we had been doing these things, there wouldn't be so much sexual abuse, sexual assault and rape and domestic violence and just abuse of women in general. And we got to own that. We have to make changes within ourselves. Even if you are not guilty of it as an individual, we got to hold other men We got to hold ourselves accountable and get other men in line and be a representation, the uh, be the representation, be the example of how men should be, and not let none of that go on. We have to, as I said, we got to protect our women. We got to protect our wives. We got to protect the widows, just the women in distress. That's on us, the protectors. But some of you may be watching this and saying, "Oh well, we're Moors and da 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 da. We got our Quran. We don't follow this book." Okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Let's go to the Quran, shall we? Noble Drew Ali. That's why he universal prophet. The man is super wise. You know what I mean? But let me stop talking. Let me show you. This is the Holy Quran, Circle 7. Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali. And he's a universal prophet for everybody, but he came specifically for the so-called black people because we need him most. And when you crack this book open, the first chapter is talking about the creation and the fall of man. That's talking about Allah's power, right? Our creator. The very next chapter, after the creation and the fall of man, is education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zoan, Egypt. It's speaking about the education of mothers. Mothers is the second chapter. It's dealing with mothers and women. The second chapter in this book. That's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. After God, the most sacred being is what? The mother. Women. But let's get into it just a little bit deeper though. Here it goes right here. It says at line 14, and these your sons will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs, for carnal men want not the light, they love the dark, and when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can receive the light. And you must teach your sons. You must teach your sons speaking to women and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of men. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but through carnal thoughts and words and deeds, man tore himself away from Allah. And the reason why I wanted to read that is to highlight the importance of the role of mothers, of women. It was the women, it was the mothers that had to teach the men, had to teach Isa, had to give Isa the knowledge, right? In order for them to go do their works, in order for us to do our works. Women play a pivotal role in the upliftment of fallen humanity. Women, as it says here, you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire. We got to protect our women and give them the space to be able to teach. It's deep, man. It's deep. And we, as men, we have not been doing a good enough job. It's just evident. And we have to improve on that. We have to give all of the women, don't matter, whatever, rank or class that you may view a woman as, whether she be homeless, whether she be, working on the street, whether she be a stripper, whether she, whatever perception you have of women, we have to adjust. We have to change our mentality and realize and see that all women, no matter how they may be presenting themselves on the outside, We have to look at all women and understand that all women are the most sacred beings on this planet, on this earth. It's sacred being, first is Allah, first is our creator, then is women. And we have to have that mentality and give that honor and give that respect to all women. That's our role, especially if you're a Moorish American, especially if you're a Moor. Jesus is the example. It's in the book now. It's in the book. You can't say it's not in the book because it's in the book. You know. Oh, man. It's another one that I wanted to read as well. See if I can get this for you real quick. Well, I'm not gonna read the whole chapter, but I just explained that it's more chapters that speak about the respect that we should give women. Here we go. It's chapter 20, but what I'm reading from is chapter 21. This is speaking on marriage instructions for man and wife from the noble prophet. But I just wanted to highlight the respect that we should have for our women. It says, happy were the man that should make, and this is line 15, happy were the man that should make her his wife, happy the child that should call her mother. Again, mother, wives, women. She presideth in the house, and there is peace. She commandeth with judgment, and is obeyed. She ariseth in the morning, she considereth her affairs, and appointeth to every one their proper business. The care of her family is her whole delight. To that alone she applieth her study. The elegance with frugality is seen in her mansion. The prudence of her management is an honor to her husband. She informeth the minds of her children with wisdom. The words of her mouth is the law of their youth. The word of her mouth is the law of their youth. The motion of her eye commandeth their obedience. Just the motion of her eye commandeth obedience. She speaketh, and servants fly. She pointeth, and the thing is done. My goodness. And then here at the last little piece, the troubles of her husband are alleviated by her counsels, and sweetened by her endearments. He putteth his heart in her bosom, and receiveth comfort. Happy is the man that is made her his wife. Happy the child that call her mother. This chapter, this little piece, where it's speaking about the perspective and the respect that you should have for the wife, for the mother. It's showing she's running things in the household. She's managing things. That's the power, that's the honor, that's the respect that we should be having for women. Not trying to relegate or subjugate women to just the role of staying in the kitchen and just following what the man says. That's not the case. And we got to get out of our feelings on this. I know it's some men that feel like, I know what I'm supposed to, and I'm the man, and she just need to listen to, hey now. I hear what you're saying. I hear you. But I'm talking about what Isa was talking about. Prophet now. Jesus, a.k.a. Jesus. He breaking it down now. Again, let me get back to the book because I just want to make sure that I'm clear on this. Just so I'm clear. Just so we're clear. The mother, the most sacred being after God. Not just that. What was the other line? What was the other line? It was about the universe. Oh, I should have highlighted it. But the mother is where respect woman, for she is the mother of the universe, and all the truth of divine creation lies in her. All the truth of divine creation lies in her, not in him, not in the men, not in the fellas, in her, in the mother, in women. I'm repeating this over and over again because we have really got off track. And it's not just me saying it, if you just look into society and look at how women are treated, look at how mothers are treated. They aren't given the respect and the honor that they should be given. And we got to correct that. It's on us. The old way wasn't working, so it's on us to, come on now. What you know about Tupac changes? Then I wanted to read this as well. Yeah. I wanted to read this. This is coming from The Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. Excuse the book is kind of raggedy, but the important part is the information. And this is chapter 19. And just to give you a little backdrop, and this is chapter 19. It's a funeral going on. And is it 19? Oh. Oops, no, it wasn't. I don't think it was 19. Yeah, it was. Hold on one second. I lost the page. Oh, actually, excuse me. Chapter 20. Chapter 20, The Adept Chamber of the Dead, The Mysteries of Egypt. Boom. Okay, yeah, here we go. And so, just the backdrop, Jesus or Isa, he was observing what seems to be like a funeral going on. And I'm going to just read it so you can get an understanding. It says, then other carriers came and brought the body of a mother to the chamber of the dead. And just one mourner followed, she a girl of tender years. And as the cortege neared the door, the child observed a wounded bird in sore distress. A cruel hunter's dart had pierced its breast. And she left following the dead and went to help the living bird. With tenderness and love, she folded to her breast the wounded bird, then hurried to her place. And Yahshua said, or Isa, Yehoshua, I'm going to say Isa just so we follow along. And Isa said to her, why did you leave your dead to save a wounded bird? The maiden, the little girl, the maiden said, this lifeless body needs no help from me. My mother taught me this, okay? My mother taught me this. My mother taught that grief and selfish love and hopes and fears are but reflexes from the lower self. That what we sense is but small waves upon the rolling billows of a life. These all will pass away. They are unreal. Tears flow from hearts of flesh. The spirit never weeps. And I am longing of the day when I can walk in the light where tears are wiped away. My mother taught that all emotions are sprays that rise from human love and hope and fears, that perfect bliss cannot be ours till we have conquered these. And in the presence of that child did Isa bow his head in reverence. He said, "For days and months and years I have sought to learn this highest truth that man can learn on earth. And here a child, a young girl, mind you, and here a child, fresh brought to the earth, has told it all in one short breath." No wonder David said, "O Allah, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength." And then he laid his hand upon the maiden's head and said, "I am sure the blessings of my Father Allah rest upon you, child, forever." He said, "For days, months, and years I have sought to learn the highest truth that man can learn on earth." This is Isa talking now. For days and months and years, he was all over the place. He went to Egypt. He went to Africa. He was in India. All over. He sat and studied with everybody. And he said, the highest truth, he learned it from a little girl. And she was taught by her mother. Understand the power in what's being said here. We have to. We must. It is imperative that we honor and respect all women. All of them, every single one. Our grandmas, our aunties, our nieces, our sisters, our children's mothers, whether you have a good relationship or a bad one. And now we're going to get to some of the real, I done read what I wanted to read. Now let's get to the real stuff. How is your relationship, with your mother? How is your relationship with your sister, with your auntie, with your child's mom, brothers out there, men out there? Regardless of how she treating you, got to give her that honor and that respect. The mother, after God, is the most sacred being. Again, not what I said, Isa. Isa gave us that jewel. And doubling back real quick, it said, do not expose her to humiliation. It also said, be lenient towards woman. Come on, man. Be lenient. Do not expose her to humiliation. In acting that way, you would humiliate yourself and lose the sentiment of love, without which nothing exists here below. Protect your wife in order that she may protect you and your family. And all that you do for your wife, your mother, for a widow or another woman in distress, you have done unto your God, unto Allah. So the things that we do for our women, the things that we do for a widow, the things that we do for women in distress, for our wives or the mother of our children, doing Allah. We got to be mindful of that at all times. And I'm going to just be honest with you. From my experiences, man, it's a lot of women out here that have been done wrong and that are traumatized, that are hurting, that are in pain because of what men have done to them, or because their fathers weren't around and didn't protect them and honor them and love them. This is a fact that we as men got to understand, take that in, really reflect on that, and then change our ways. And even if it's not you, if it's your partner, if it's your cousin, if it's your brother, you got to check them. That's where we come in. If you are one that is doing everything, you A1, you honoring your wife and the mother of your children, you super respectful, you taking care of business on all fronts. Respect. Much love to you. Thank you. But it ain't enough. We got to do more than that. We got to hold our partners, our cousins, little dude you knew from around the corner, even if you don't know him. If you see a young dude, a young man, or an older man, any man, and you see him getting into it with a woman, hey man, that's where we gotta step in with the love and with respect. Hey, we gotta find a different way. We gotta interject. That's our role. We can't be scared about it. We have to make a change. Because I feel truly that our lack of honoring and respecting our women, the lack of honor and respect to our mothers, the lack and honor and respect to our daughters, to our sisters, to the women we don't know, to the women we call thoughts and hoes and everything else under the sun, this negative, this demeaning, this disrespectful, this dishonorable. All of that is contributing and helping to cause the dysfunction that we see in our society and in the world. And we could try to turn a blind eye. We could try to pretend like it's not having an impact. But it is. It is. And I've seen it play out. I've talked to women and I've listened to them express how they was done wrong by this dude and by that dude. And I've unfortunately had too many women tell me about experiences of being raped or experiences of being sexually assaulted or sexually abused or just harassed on the street. It's unacceptable. We not doing our job as men by allowing that to continue. And we have to make a change. Sorry, I've been on a little bit of a tangent there, but this is just something that's really important to me. And that's why I'm even doing this right now. It's 2:52 in the morning, but I was talking to my daughter. Just me thinking about doing a class, and I was telling her. On one hand, I was like, maybe I should wait until in the morning when people wake, and I was like, nah, I want to get this off my chest now because it's important. Um, and I wanted to read something real quick. Oh man. Peace, peace, peace to the people that are y'all up early, man. Peace and much love to you. Sean from the Shy, Mansa Musa, Prince Justice, Eli Bay, Andre Allen, and peace to anybody that watches this later. Peace to you. Much love to you. Um, if you're a man watching this, I'm challenging you to step up, to do better, to be a better example of how a man should be in terms of honoring and respecting all women. No excuses. No, oh, but what about? No. It ain't no excuses on that. All women, mothers, wives, widows, daughters, nieces, cousins, aunties, grandmas, um, mothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, you know, everybody, any sort of, you know, all women that consider themselves lesbians. You know what I mean? Uh, man, I'm trying to just make sure that I get everybody. You know what I mean? So that we understand it's no except, well, but no excuses, no little asterisk on that. All women. We have to do a better job at honoring and respecting all women. That's deep. That's deep. And I want to read this real quick while we on the topic of women. The first, if you're watching this, just coming in now, at the beginning of this video, it's a clip that I played of Afeni Shakur, which is Tupac's mother. This is a excerpt from the book from Asada Shakur. Powerful woman. If you don't know who Asada Shakur is, please look her up. Please understand who she is. But I want to read this. This is called The Affirmation. I believe in living. I believe in the spectrum of beta days and gamma people. I believe in sunshine, in windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocking chairs. And I believe that seeds grow into sprouts, and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hands, and in the wisdom of the eyes. I believe in rain and tears, and in the blood of infinity. I believe in life, and I have seen the death parade march through the torso of the earth, sculpting mud bodies in its path. I have seen the destruction of the daylight and seen bloodthirsty maggots prayed to and saluted. I have seen the kind become the blind, and the blind become the bind in one easy lesson. I have walked on cut glass. I have eaten crow and blunder bread and breathed the stench of indifference. I have been locked by the lawless, handcuffed by the haters, gagged by the greedy, and if I know anything at all, it's that a wall is just a wall, and nothing more at all. It can be broken down. I believe in living. I believe in birth. I believe in the sweat of love and in the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship, steered by tired, seasick sailors, can still be guided home to port. That was a affirmation excerpt from Asada Shakur, the autobiography. All right. The other thing that I wanted to say is, speaking to the women, is to reaffirm and to empower and to remind you again, not of what I'm saying, but what Isa said, what Jesus said. Outside of God, God is most sacred. But next to God, right below that, the most sacred being is the mother, a woman. Mother, most sacred being outside of God. We gotta really, I really want our women, our mothers, my daughter, Kayla, when you watching this, and all my, my friends, my brother's daughters, my brother's children, any young woman out there, you really got to know that. Not just hear it, but really know it within. And then move with that power. Move with that knowledge. Move with that wisdom. Because, y'all are the key. Without y'all, there is no nations of the earth. All people came through women. Come on now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That's the power that y'all have. And it's very imperative, it's very important, it's necessary that you don't diminish yourself, that you don't disrespect yourself, that you see yourself for who you truly are. Regardless of how, men may see you or men may treat you, or males, let me not even just, regardless of how people may treat you, you got to know within yourself how truly special and powerful you are, and then move with that energy. That's really going to start to change this thing. And also, humbly, if you find yourself in a situation where you are being disrespected, you need to get up out of that situation. You should not be allowing any man, anyone, man or woman, but man, I'm speaking for men, you should not allow any man to be putting their hands on you, to be disrespecting you. That should not be going down. And if they are, you need to make an example and move away. Get away from them. They don't deserve you. They're not ready for you. And we have to start moving and standing on the principles and the ethics and the morals such as that. You know what I mean? We don't, there's been far too much of that going on, and it gets overlooked. It gets dismissed. It gets accepted as, well, that's just how it is. Women getting cheated on left and right and done all sorts of foul. Wives done all sorts of just completely wrong. And, I've seen too many women just roll with it, because that's what society says right now. We have to understand that's not acceptable. I mean, and more than just we, y'all got to understand that. And then move on that. And don't allow yourself to don't allow yourself to even invite that in. Once you realize what that is, move on and don't look back on that. Because you do deserve better. And there are people out in the world that will treat you with the honor and the respect and the care and the love that you deserve. Thank you. Man, I think for the most part, I kind of said what I wanted to say. Let me just double check, man. Make sure I said everything I wanted to say. I'm gonna just highlight these lines again. A woman, she is the basis of all that is good and beautiful. Woman is the basis of all that is good and beautiful. On women depends the whole existence of man. Respect women, for she is the mother of the universe, and all the truth of divine creation lies in her. Not in men, in her. After God, your best thoughts should belong to the women and the wives, women being for you the temple wherein you will obtain the most easily perfect happiness. Your best thoughts after God now. Got to give it up. We got to understand God, our creator, that's number one. That's at the tippy top of the pyramid, all right? But after that, the best thoughts should belong to the women and the wives. The wife and the mother are inappreciable treasures given unto you by God. They are the fairest ornaments of existence, and of them shall be born all the inhabitants of the world. Last thing, this is the last thing. All that you do for your wife, your mother, for a widow, or another woman in distress, all that you do, okay, all that you do for them, you will have done unto God. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. Closing it out. I've heard many men, many people, but men specifically in the conscious community, say the black woman is God. Respectfully, that is incorrect. God is God. Allah. So let's not get that confused at all. Allah is only one Allah. Understand that. There's only one God. All knowing, all wise. That's God. That's at the top. And we are supposed to worship God. Understand that. Not worship women. Not worship the black woman. Because the black woman is not God. But the most sacred being after God is woman. So understand that. And that what we do for women, for the so-called black woman, for our Moorish women, for any women though, we're doing unto God. So we have to be mindful at all times how we're treating women, how we're treating our wives, how we're treating widows or just women in distress, and understand that what we're doing to them, we're doing to our Creator. Really got to let that sink in. We really have to reflect on that and change our actions, change our thoughts, our words, and our deeds to really reflect and to show by our actions that we honor and we respect women. Because when we do that, it's showing that we honor and respecting our Creator. Thank you. I appreciate the commentary. Thank you for tuning in to the people that's up right now. I know it's early, and I really appreciate you tapping in. To the people that's not on here with the live, but you watching it later, I appreciate you too. Again, to my mother, I appreciate my mom. Thank you, Mom. To my grandma, my aunties, my auntie Jamie that put me on a Stolen Legacy years ago, and just all the knowledge, and all of my aunties and my sister, and my children's mom, and my daughter, and my nieces, to any woman that I've come across that has played a role in my life, thank you. To the women that are watching this right now, thank you. Let us do our best to, again, honor and respect all women and start making a change within ourselves, because that's really, in doing that, we really will uplift humanity. And that's what we're here to do. And this is the biggest thing. I done said all of that, but we got to do it with the love, man. got to do it with the love. If you don't have the love in it, it's not gonna work. You gotta have that love to honor and respect our women. Got to have the love. Love instead of hate. Yeah, I think I'm done, man. I'm finna go to sleep because I gotta get up and actually I'm about to, well, I don't know if my daughter's watching this, but hopefully she's not. I'm gonna surprise her. I'm gonna dropping off some food to her before I gotta go to work. So much love to you. Keep shining. Honor, respect women, all women. Okay, brothers. Um, yeah, let's change the world. Peace and love.